This is a download from the BBC. To find out more, visit bbc.co.uk/Radio 4.
Glencore buys and sells metals, crops and fuels and also invests in mining companies. It's expected to see its profits fall by a third on lower metal prices. We're also awaiting an update on a deal struck back in February when the massive mining company Xstrata agreed to a takeover bid by Glencore, which at that time was its largest shareholder, still is in fact. The mega merger would make a company worth £58 billion, being able to both extract commodities from the ground and sell them on. But that was 6 months ago. This deal still hasn't been done because many investors don't like what's being offered. One of them, Standard Life's Ewan Sterling, said so on this programme when the deal was first proposed.
As the deal is currently structured, we are definitely minded to vote against it. Our view is that to accept an offer from Glencore would significantly dilute that growth, and that's really what it's all about. It's about the price that should be paid for the growth that we think Xstrata brings. I believe, actually, in this case, there's a groundswell of institutional opinion of many big shareholders in Xstrata, and I think we do have a strong voice, and I think we ought to be listened to, and I'm confident that we will be listened to.
Well, I'm joined by Michael van Dulken, who's Head of Research at Sendo Markets. Good morning to you, Michael. They're not alone. The second biggest shareholder is the wealth fund, the sovereign wealth fund of Qatar, and they also don't like the look of this deal. They want more. They're being offered 2.8 shares of Glencore for every one they've got of Xstrata, and they want more.
They want 3.25. They've been holding strong for this for a while, and it's put the deal at loggerheads.
And basically, it looks as if that Qatar and people like Standard Life do have enough votes collectively to block this deal. So what are we going to see now? Is this going to... are we going to see Mr. Glassenberg, who's the head of Glencore, budge on this and start offering some more money?
He's stood strong for quite a while now, and there's big potential for him to stay strong. He's a strong character. He may well refuse to budge. Now,
is it just because they think that Xstrata is undervalued because what's going to happen in China? Because they've got vast sort of coal and iron ore and copper deposits. Is this a question about how you value the value of those commodities given what's going on in China? Because there's a Chinese dimension to all commodity stories.
There's a huge macroeconomic issue on the table. China is growing much more slowly than it was. People are worried about growth, and that is having a big effect on commodities prices at the moment. That is depressing share prices of miners and the resources they mine.
And what's the received wisdom on that? Are we looking at a hard landing in China where growth is going up much less than we previously thought, and some people don't even believe the numbers we're getting from China? Or is this a blip and we're going to see the Chinese authorities do enough to stimulate their economy and then we're off to the races again?
It's not just China. Don't forget, China makes a lot of what the rest of the world consumes. In Europe is still an issue which is far from being resolved. Until that's the case, until the US picks up again, the products that China's producing aren't going to be consumed as quickly. Therefore, that country won't be growing. It won't be consuming the resources that these miners are producing.
OK, well, Michael van Dulken from Sendo Markets, thanks very much for now. But stick around, because we've just heard one of the spanners in the works there of the Glencore Xstrata deal is the Qatari Sovereign Wealth Fund, which is becoming a very powerful player in the UK. On Friday, for example, it bought a 20% stake in airport operator BAA for £900 million. It also owns Harrods, most of the Shard, and stakes in Sainsbury, the London Stock Exchange, and what every luxury portfolio needs, a handbag designer, Anya Hindmarch. Nick Tolkard is head of Middle East investment at Invesco. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Simon.
Could you tell us a bit about...
technology investors have only got to look across the street to the likes of Apple to look at a real continuing growth story.